What's up, residents? Alistair here. What is happening with the next entry of the MonsterVerse? Godzilla vs. Kong was a huge success, but we have yet to hear any official word from Legendary confirming the sequel's existence. Is the MonsterVerse in trouble? Well, let's get up to speed on what's happening with Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Let's get to it! Welcome back. As some of you might have noticed, I haven't been present on Dangerville recently. Well, that's because I've been moving house and all my stuff has been in boxes. But thank Godzilla, that's all done now, and I can finally have a fancy new office to grind out some new Dangerville goodness. So, while Jacob slaves away to bring you residents some Jurassic World content, allow me to provide you with some kaiju goodness. Before we get into it, take a look at my new Godzilla tattoo. I got it done not too long ago and it's just finished healing, and I absolutely love it. I wanted to make it look like Ghidorah was wrapping around my arm and Godzilla was wrestling to get him off. Some of you residents might have actually seen this a while ago over on our Twitter, so go follow us at Dangerville Team to keep up to date with us and to see all sorts of Godzilla and dinosaur goodness. Now, let's get to the subject of today's video. Is the MonsterVerse in trouble? It's been a long year. It's hard to believe Godzilla vs. Kong came out in 2021, but it did, nearly 8 months ago in fact. The film earned $470 million in the box office and received pretty high critical acclaim, and single-handedly revived cinema by giving studios hope that their films could also make money theatrically. Since its release, we've seen Fast and Furious 9, Cruella, Free Guy, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Venom 2, The Eternals, and Dune all released to a wide audience. To put Legendary's Godzilla vs. Kong success into perspective, it's currently beat out every Marvel film this year at the box office, and stands as the 6th highest grossing film of the year, only behind cinema giants like James Bond and Fast and Furious, as well as a few Chinese films. It's also released during a time when COVID was at risk for a large amount of people, since most people didn't have the vaccine yet, which makes its box office results only that much more impressive. Then why is it that Dune, another Legendary property, has had its sequel confirmed to release in 2023, despite earning significantly less than Godzilla vs. Kong at the box office, $351 million against $467 million at the time of making this video. In all fairness, Dune is still in cinemas, but it's not going to catch up to Godzilla vs. Kong before its time in cinemas has finished. Considering the MonsterVerse has earned nearly $2 billion at the box office, not even including home media and merchandise sales, it should surely be a property that Legendary holds close to their hearts. But where is the respect for the MonsterVerse? With Dune Part 2 officially confirmed, why isn't there a Kong 2 or Godzilla 3 or Godzilla vs. Kong 2 confirmed? The only information we have about any upcoming MonsterVerse films is from The Hollywood Reporter, a reliable source that informed readers that Adam Wingard is in talks with Legendary to direct a new MonsterVerse film, with the current title floating around the studio being Son of Kong. Now, while that's good news, it's not a concrete update directly from Legendary in regards to what to expect from the MonsterVerse going forward. Meanwhile, you have Marvel and DC planning their films years in advance, which allows its fanbase to wallow in excitement and hype up for the upcoming entries. The last official MonsterVerse news about what to expect post-GVK was in regard to the upcoming Skull Island animated show coming to Netflix. But the last update was almost a year ago, and any info surrounding that has seemingly dropped off the face of the earth. So we'll just have to wait and see if that even happens. Legendary have to act fast if they want to keep the momentum of the series going, because the longer they wait, the more people that lose interest. But when is too late too late? Well, in some cases, you can witness the loss of interest between films. Take Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland for example. That film earned over $1 billion in the box office when it released back in 2010. Fast forward to 2016, Alice Through the Looking Glass, the sequel to Alice in Wonderland, released, and it bombed hard, earning a measly $299 million on a budget of $170 million. Part of it could be blamed on the poor critical reception, but most of the blame goes towards the fact it released 6 years after the original. People just didn't care by the time it released. It took far too long. Some argue this is the reason that Godzilla King of the Monsters underperformed, releasing 5 years after the original, and in a crowded season, which did it no favors. Legendary need to avoid the same mistakes of allowing its fanbase to dry out. They need to confirm something before it's too late. And I'm not just saying this because we run a Godzilla channel, I simply love Godzilla and Kong and want to see the MonsterVerse succeed and live up to its potential. Realistically, we should hear about the next MonsterVerse film in 2022. Considering that it takes just under 2 years to make a blockbuster film, it would be foolish not to have another film out before 2024. Although there are some possible explanations as to why they are reacting so slowly. One being that negotiations with Toho may still be taking place as to whether Legendary wishes to purchase another license to use the Godzilla character, since their motion picture license expired following Godzilla vs. Kong's release. Contrary to popular belief, just because the contract has expired doesn't mean Legendary will never make another Godzilla film. Toho and Legendary have a very good relationship, and Toho is perfectly happy to just sit back, making money while another studio does the hard work. Another reason for the delays may be due to Legendary reassessing whether theatrical releases are the way to go. The pandemic has seemingly pushed for more big releases on streaming platforms, and even Warner Bros. Has been releasing most of its big films on HBO Max the same day as cinemas, meaning most people can sit at home and watch the latest blockbuster releases, which has proved to be quite successful. So because of this, Legendary has been re-evaluating their strategy going forward. Whether they'll have this dual release system or not, well, that's up in the air. Legendary isn't stupid. They have lots of very smart people working their butt off to make their studio make as much money as possible, and they know the MonsterVerse is a cash cow. I highly doubt Godzilla vs. Kong will be the last big budget entry, but it is incredibly strange that the studio won't simply announce anything. As we have discussed, the chances are that Legendary is just assessing the market and negotiating with Toho before they announce something big. I'd expect an announcement in 2022, although this will probably be just the title, which will most likely be revealed during Comic-Con. It would be a dumb decision to not make a follow-up to their most successful film this year. So keep your hopes high, residents. More kaiju goodness is right around the corner. What are your hopes for the next MonsterVerse film? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you learned something new, then leave a like because it helps this video reach even more fans. Don't forget to subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you, residents, in the next one.